The WoW veterans among you might still remember. Back then in World of Warcraft Classic, in Zul'Gurub, Zul'Gurub's HK had a curse, the so-called Blood Curse. It could be taken outside the raid through, yes, an interaction that Blizzard, I think, hadn't anticipated. And that caused a pandemic to sweep through Azeroth, and especially in the main cities, thousands of players were simply killed hour after hour. Now, there's a new curse or a new disease that does exactly the same thing. It apparently hasn't reached us in Europe yet, but American servers are currently being decimated one after another by a new disease, and that's connected to the new Dragonflight time walking. What it's all about, we'll take a look at in this video. I'll show you which disease it is, and with that, let's get started. If you like all this, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Especially now, during the YouTube summer slump, I rely on every bit of support. Thank you very, very much for that, and with that, let's get started. So, for those of you who didn't catch it, this case back then in Zul'Gurub was actually studied by real-life doctors as well. Because it was a very good demonstration of how a disease can spread from one person to thousands of others. And they just couldn't get the whole thing under control. It only stopped when Blizzard made a fix. Before that, players were dying by the thousands, I don't know, sometimes even more. Now, there's a similar scenario happening again in World of Warcraft Midnight, and it's all thanks to this dungeon here, the Brackenfell Cave, Höhle. Honestly, as you can see here, I currently have a debuff on me. If I'm not mistaken, that should also be the curse we're talking about, or rather this disease. The whole thing stacks up and deals regular damage. And as it looks right now, yes, the whole thing can be brought out of Mythic or these time-walking dungeons. Players have reported, especially on US servers, that people with this debuff have left the time-walking dungeons. And level 90 characters seem to be pretty safe because it doesn't do enough damage to tick you down. But now players are making a joke out of it and, for example, go into places like Goldshire with this debuff, which is a place where RP characters hang out. In inns where characters who aren't level 90 yet hang out, where new characters used to hang out. And apparently there are also haunted areas in Stormwind where people are getting wiped out one after another and just dying. Of course, we also have some pictures of it. Unfortunately, no video footage, but this is what it looks like. It's called Wizard Contagion. And honestly, it looks like someone just pooped on the ground there. That's what I'm saying. Just saying. If you can think of a better comparison, let me know. But that's the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah, like I said, people take that out of the dungeon. People then carry it around, or, as far as I read, it gets spread to people within 5 meters, and with that, you can specifically kill and take people out. And because of that, and we already saw this with that Zul'Gurub thing, that players keep having it on them. Let's say someone next to you has it, and you died before. Then people usually release or resurrect themselves, stand right next to someone like that, and that's how this disease spreads from one person to another. And it feels like you just can't avoid this whole thing. That's pretty much how it was back then too. Here we have some more impressive images showing what it looks like. For example, here we are in Elwyn Forest in front of the Goldshire Inn. And as you can see, it stretches from inside the inn all the way outside. It feels like everyone has this disease and is taking ticks from it. As I said, for max level characters, it's maybe not that annoying because they don't necessarily die from it. Unless you're AFK and it keeps ticking on you for a minute or so, then you're dead too. Again, after it runs out. Yeah. Yeah. Difficult. It's difficult to get the whole thing under control. Back then, Blizzard had to step in. And I'm curious if they'll do it again this time. So far, or at least at the time of recording over the weekend, I haven't read anything about it yet. But I do assume that there will be steps taken. Because you can see it, people abuse things like that, people take advantage of it. In the end, just in this picture alone, you easily have 15 or 20 players who have that on them. And as long as there are mechanics like that, there will always be people who want to mess with others and kill them because of it. That's a fact. Yeah, so be careful. It's quite possible that this could spill over onto our servers as well. And in the end, there's not much you can do. So if you're affected by it, well, in the end, you're just out of luck. And here you can see, withered contagion, that's this disease. So that's what my warrior actually just had there. Basically, you can protect yourself by playing a class that can remove diseases, then it's fine, yeah. Or you can avoid areas where a lot of people are standing close together. Here you can see it again. It's called Weltkende Ansteckung in German. Causes 1000 nature damage, infects the target with a disease that reduces the damage dealt by 20 and deals nature damage every 1.5 seconds for 15 seconds to all player characters within 5 meters of the target. The disease spreads to player characters within 5 meters, and that's exactly the point. Theoretically, you could do this here in Silvermoon as well, although people here aren't standing so closely together. But go into the dungeon, get the debuff on yourself, and I haven't read about this anywhere yet, whether it's enough to just teleport out of the dungeon, or if you have to leave the group and then get teleported out and keep the dungeon, the debuff. I haven't found any statements about that because apparently no one has tried it themselves. People just got killed by others. But yeah, if you wanted to cause chaos with it, you could theoretically stand here where people regularly turn in their crafting orders, or you could go to the auction house, or here where people upgrade their gear. Like I said, it doesn't kill people instantly, but if they keep getting hit by it, they'll probably die. Yeah, so now I've basically given instructions on how to cause mischief. I really hope no one actually tries this. What do you guys think about it? Is it scummy when someone does something like this, or do you think it's a funny story? Personally, I think I would get upset about it. I have to be completely honest. But yeah, what can you do? With that said, thank you so much for watching. As I said, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, see you in the next video, and take care.